I was reading an article. Is World War III next? What are we going to be seeing after all of this? Is going to be further escalation? Well, nobody is trusting China, US and Israel especially. They are doing everything possible to push China to the limit. Therefore, the only conclusion that we can come up to would be WW3, World War III. And this is exactly what I want to talk about in this video because things are escalating pretty fast. So let me read from this article a little bit and then I will explain to you more what is happening right now. So Israel and Hamas are now in an all-out war against each other, and it's already become the deadliest conflict in half a century. As the entire world watches this bloody conflict unfold, thousands of civilians on both sides have already been killed, and shockingly, it's expected to escalate even more. The conflict between Israel and Palestine has been ongoing for over 70 years, with Hamas calling the latest attack a retribution for the worsening and decades of frankly appalling conditions for Palestinians. So basically what we are seeing, we have not seen that in the last 70 years, very, very rarely if we did. And the things are only getting much, much worse. And we are seeing that the counterattack, the revenge, the retaliation from Hamas is being justified by Hamas. And there is no indication, there is no sign that Hamas is going to end this war anytime soon, because they knew what they will be facing if they attacked Israel, which they did on October 7th. And this situation, the condition is appalling for Palestinians living under Israeli military occupation since 1967. As the war intensifies, the US and NATO allies are firmly on Israel's side. And this is why we call out countries like Turkey: cut your ties with NATO right now. Turkey, get over. The reason they are not, or that they will not get out of NATO, Turkey, is because if you remember what happened back, I believe it was in 2012 or sometime during that period, where Turkish military shot down Russian fighter jets. The consequence was such that Vladimir Putin, he wanted to go to war with Turkey just for one or two fighter jets being shot down by the Turkish military. Therefore, Turkey knows that they cannot trust Russia. If in case Turkey does the same thing with Russia in the future, again, maybe not shooting down fighter jets, but maybe skirmishes, conflicts, small battles takes place between Turkey and Russia, especially in the Black Sea. As we know, Russia deployed his fighter jets over that sea. If that happens and there is an accident, for example, right, just friendly fire, and Russia attacks Turkey, then Turkey will have no defense against Russia, because Turkey is being surrounded with all of these European countries who are already against Turkey. For example, Greece, France, they're not going to come to the rescue of Turkey, not at all. Putin might find that an opportunity to actually invade Turkey or go to war and destroy Turkey to the maximum level possible, hoping that through that war with Turkey, if that happens again, he might be able to strengthen his grip on Europe. So Turkey has the reason not to leave NATO. Because Turkey, Erdogan, he doesn't feel that comfort with Russia. Nevertheless, now we are seeing that NATO allies, all of this, is including Muslim countries like Turkey, they are firmly against Palestine, at least to find a solution, at least against Hamas. And we are going to be seeing this ally, the NATO allies, they will become even more stronger, more firmer on this issue, and ask Palestinian Gazan people to pretty much take it all. Whatever Israel decides, if they want to go on a ground offensive, just, let it be. Because NATO, they already made it absolutely clear that we do not care about violating human rights. In fact, Macron, he said, I don't care if I have to violate international human rights law when it comes to deporting people. So in other words, these countries, they're so powerful and they are becoming so arrogant. They don't care about any human right. They don't care about any laws, international law, whatever. They are absolutely not interested. So these countries are coming together. these NATO countries, these NATO members, and they're finding a force that will defend Israel and destroy countries like Palestine, Gaza, Iran, Syria. And they're already doing that. So according to this article I was reading from this, I think he's a US military veteran, he was making these comments. And he clearly and very, very explicitly showed us the hypocrisy of the West. On one hand, they are asking or condemning Russian attack on Ukrainian people. On the other hand, they are saying, oh, Israel, it's okay. Whatever you want to do with Palestinian, go ahead. There is no human right when it comes to. In fact, I actually made a report yesterday and I said that Linda Greenfield, she said in the US Congresswoman, I believe she is, she condemned Russia for cutting off electricity. But when it comes to electricity of the Gazan people cutting off by the Israeli Zionist regime, she is nowhere to be seen. As a result, all of these NATO members, when they're getting together, trying to attack anybody who will harm the interest of Israel. On the other hand, you're also seeing that there is a coalition forming against Russia and also China. And these countries are going to be sidelined. These countries will be pushed to their limit, and they would have absolutely no say. Because today, if you take a look at the mainstream media narrative about China's stance on this issue, you will see that they are lashing out at China. They're thrashing China over and over again, saying that, oh, China is the main culprit here. They failed to condemn Hamas. When we know that China, from the very beginning, they said our position is very, very clear, which is that we do not want any escalation. We do not want any civilian casualties. But the West, including Germany, US, Israel, they are pushing China to the limit. And this is not looking good, because at one point, China might hit out, in some way, shape, or form to show these countries that they matter and that you cannot just play with Chinese military. But that is something we'll talk about in the future. US and NATO allies are firmly on Israel's side, as the US has already sent warships, fighter jets, and munitions to the region. The world is on edge, as many have even suggested that this is the beginning of World War III. However, amid this escalating chaos, something absolutely insane has surfaced, growing accusations that the war is somehow all of China's fault. Again, as I said, people, NATO allies, they're holding China accountable. How? Let's read a little bit here. Today's video, I want to make absolutely clear about that point. Going to be this video is going to be talking about the allegations and reveal the truth about China's stance in the conflict, as well as what China has and has not done. Trust me, the answer will completely shock you, so you make sure that you watch until the end of this video, because it is important for you to understand the whole thing. You need to watch the whole video. So we know that China has been doing Israel has been doing to Israel for the last 7 years. Just last week, where Chinese government officials, they're actually asking both Israel and Palestinian to calm down. So last 7 years, this is what I want to tell you. For the past 7 years, just last week, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken flew to Israel. He went to Israel to pledge America's undying support for Israel, announcing, you may be strong enough on your own. Anthony Blinken, this is what he said to the Israeli government. You might be strong enough on your own to defend yourself, but as long as America exists, you will never ever have to, because NATO allies such as Germany instantly fell in line with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, stating there is only one place for Germany, and that is side by side with Israel. So basically, as you can see clearly from this article, that the German Chancellor, Anthony Blinken, Secretary of State, they made their position absolutely clear over this issue, that even though Israel can defend themselves on their own, but American military will not let that happen. Means, we will fight your war, Israel. You are in big trouble, we're going to come. Don't worry, it's all paid off. This is insane. This is a level of loyalty. There is no difference between America and Israel today anymore in terms of military I think in terms of everything. They help, they give them billions of dollars of aid. As the West, with most of the global South having a very different viewpoint, interesting enough, these two maps tell a story of how divided and polarized our world truly is. So, one hand, you have this hypocrisy going on in the especially among the NATO members, especially among this coalition of NATO. On the other hand, you also have the same group of people, countries I should say, who are accusing China and Russia of violating human rights. And so would there be a eventual and inevitable conflict between these nations? Well, to me, looks like there will be. And the World War III is right around the corner, because China is not going to be played. They do not want any nation to play with them, simply because they don't do it themselves. China, if you know, they do not interfere in other countries' politics, geopolitics, nothing. They remain very, very, neutral. They just let this country to decide for themselves. On the other hand, you have U.S. telling pretty much all the nations what to do, what not to do, including the Palestinian Gaza, and they are siding with Israel. So there could be eventual escalation, because right now we know that Hamas is getting ready with their weapons, Hezbollah is getting ready with their weapons, and Iran is supporting them. So China, Russia might join forces very soon, who knows? And that would definitely mean more escalation and WW3 eventually. Guys, thank you so much for joining this session. Leave a comment if you have any. Jamal Wright, assalamu alaikum brother. Wa alaikum salam brother Jamal. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.